Hey church, Jared here. Thanks for staying connected with us during this new normal. I'm the Minister for Families at St. Andrews, and I have loved hearing all of the ways that you're staying connected with us as a faith family, even dispersed in this time. Thank you for being with us in worship and sharing hope with our community through this season in whatever way you're doing that, and in whatever way we're going to be doing that for the next little while, particularly in this holiest of weeks. As we find ourselves entering into the back half of Holy Week, there's a part of my brain that's always on the lookout for overwhelm. Easter is the busiest week of the year at St. Andrews, and as we prepare for services on Monday, Thursday, and Good Friday, and 3 times on Easter, the stress usually peaks for me on Wednesday. But this year, where everything is different, I'm not feeling overwhelmed, but I'm certainly not feeling underwhelmed either. I just feel kind of whelmed. So when I read these words from Paul's letter to the Romans, they spoke to me in a special way today. I wanted to share them with you. He says in chapter 6, "Do you not know that all of us who've been baptized into Christ were baptized into his death? Therefore we've been buried with him by baptism into death, so that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, so we too might walk in newness of life. For if we've been united with him in death like his, we will certainly be united with him in a resurrection like his." We know that our old self was crucified with him, so that the body of sin might be destroyed and we might no longer be enslaved to sin. But whoever has died is freed from sin. But if we have died with Christ, we believe that we will also live with him. We know that Christ, being raised from the dead, will never die again, and death no longer has dominion over him. The death he died to sin once and for all, but the life he lives to God. Whelm is a term that the English language has decided to borrow from medieval Welsh sailors. It literally means to be capsized or to be sinking. It's basically the feeling you get after a storm has already hit. And it's the finding of yourself in a new normal and knowing that there's something you need to do about it, but not being sure what that something is. I think whelm might actually be the perfect word for Easter of 2020, where we find ourselves and our lives turned upside down by a force we had no say over and have no control in. Easter and Holy Week more broadly are supposed to be annual checkups for the church. They invite us to stop being fine and good and shaking people's hands at the door and start remembering that when we were baptized, we were stepping into a life of faith in the Easter message, a story of dying and rising. And so Easter is an annual chance to remember that baptism wasn't just some ritual that was done to us, but is a participation in the story we tell this week. Easter is supposed to whelm us, to reorient us, mind, heart, soul, and strength toward a picture of what God's love looks like in human skin. To remind us that with God, the worst thing is never the last thing, and to renew us by notching a date in the fabric of history itself from where we can say this is our starting line into growing life together with God. Easter has this incredible power to both drag us beneath the waves and the power to set us on dry land when the storm is over. And so we look forward to sharing this Easter story with you this week, in whatever form it might look like. So please stay healthy. Please keep taking care of each other. His oath, his covenant, his blood support me in the whelming flood. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. All the best.